Earlier in the week, the Kansas City Royals traded their shortstop Alcides Escobar to the Los Angeles Angels in return for starting pitching prospect Jesus Castillo, relief pitcher Jake Jewell, and starting pitching prospect Joe Gatto. The Royals also shipped off starting pitcher Ian Kennedy and catching prospect Parker Marin to the Orioles in return for 29-year-old catcher Audrey Perez. Here at Kauffman Stadium, we had ourselves a matchup of two AL Central teams as the Royals played host to the Minnesota Twins. KC sent out Jason Hamill, 19 starts so far in the year with a 2.77 ERA, and this could very well be his last start in a Royals uniform. Top half of the first inning, he gets himself into a bit of a jam as Joe Mauer has a single in the left field with one out. Next batter up is Brian Dozier. He also has a one-out single, moves Mauer over to third base, so it's first and third for the Twins. With one out, next batter up is Miguel Sano. 1-2 count, he goes down swinging on the two-seamer. Next batter up is Eddie Rosario with two outs, and he hits a long fly ball into center field, but John Jay does get under it, and he puts it away for out number 3. Irvin Santana on the hill for the Twins, making his 19th start of the year with a 4.35 ERA. Full count to Jorge Bonifacio. He draws himself a walk. He'll take his base. So Bonifacio on first. Alex Gordon with a dribbler up the middle. Just gets past the glove of Gordon. Bonifacio thinks about going to third, but holds up at second. And then at first and second with two outs. Torres hits one over the head of the shortstop. And then one run is going to come in, but Gordon gets caught up at second base for whatever reason and then gets tagged out at third, so it's only a 1-0 lead for the Royals. Move things on to the bottom half of the third now, where John Jay is going to bloop one over the head of the shortstop and in front of the left fielder for a single. Two outs now. Soler's at the plate, and he rips one over the head of Sano into left field for a single. So runners on first and second. Lucas Duda at the plate. It's gone. Absolutely crushes one. Oppo Poppo for Lucas Duda. A 3-run home run. One swing of the bat, and it's a 4-0 Royals lead in this one. They jump off to a big lead off Irvin Santana. Move on to the top half of the fourth. Full count. Eduardo Escobar at the plate. Runner on first. He singles into center field, and they move up to third base. So it's runners on the corners with one out for Jason Castro, who rips one into left field for an RBI single, and now it's a 4-1 game. Brian Flynn comes on for the Royals in the top half of the sixth inning. Kepler is going to single past the glove of Duda into right field, so he's on first base. Then with one out, it brings up Eduardo Escobar. He's also going to single into right field, but Bonifacio somehow just sprints past the ball, does not try to field it at all, and it allows Escobar to drive in a run with an RBI triple. So it's now a 4-2 game. Twins cut the lead in half. Still top half of the sixth. And now Castro's going to hit a ball right up the middle for a RBI single, and it's a 1-run game, 4-3. Move things on to the top half of the eighth. Justin Grimm comes on, and Logan Morrison's going to have a single off of Grimm to lead off the inning. So he's on first base. Next batter up is Eduardo Escobar. He's going to single in between short and third into left field for a single. So back-to-back base knocks, and then Jason Castro comes to the plate, lays down a bunt. Moustakas thinks about going to second, but smartly chooses first instead. Byron Buxton is intentionally walked to set up the force at any base. So Joe Mauer comes to the plate with bases juiced, and he hits a ground ball right up the middle. No chance to field that one. 2 runs are going to come in for the Twins, and they have themselves their first lead of the game. 5-4 is the score. Justin Grimm not pitching so well in this appearance, as then Dozier comes up to the plate, hits one in the left, drives in another one. 6-4 Twins is the score. Taylor Rogers comes on for the save in the bottom half of the ninth. Alex Gordon just hits a perfectly placed ground ball, gets past the infielders, and is so perfectly placed in the outfield, allows him to get into second base with a double. Next batter up is Ramon Torres, the new shortstop. Broken bat, ground out as Gordon moves up to third base. Salvador Perez then comes on to pinch hit off the bench. 1-1 count to him. He swings on a pitch that runs inside on him, pops it up to Dozier at second base. 2 down in the inning. Abraham Almonte now comes on to pinch hit with 2 down, runner on third, and he swings at the first pitch and pops it up into shallow left field, and that would be the ball game as the Kansas City Royals drop this one at home to the Minnesota Twins, who improve to 37-61 as the Royals drop to 54-43. Eduardo Escobar with a huge day at the plate. He went 4 for 5 on the day, an RBI triple, scored twice as well. He was player of the game. Joe Mauer 3 for 5 with 2 RBI as well. Max Kepler went 3 for 5. Brian Dozier went 2 for 5 with an RBI. Fernando Rodney gets the win. Taylor Rogers the save. Justin Grimm the loss. And with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of Kansas City Royals Baseball. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye.
Look at them yo-yos, that's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the empty